Okay, in this lecture we start to create the graphics of the classical roulette or classic roulette. First of all, like always, we run the command service Apache to start to run the web server application Apache 2, and then we change our directory to var www and html. As we said a lot of times that running the Apache by this command would cause all the files in this directory to be served and a user could access them using a browser. So in here, these are all the pages that we have created. If we go to our browser, this is our website. We have created let me just refresh the page. We have created the sign up page which user could click and be forwarded to signup.html as you see in here, or after he has signed up he could just click on the login to log in his account. And we have these different links for our different pages. The one that we are interested in for this lecture is the roulette in here, or the classic roulette in here, that when the user clicks on it, we want him to be directed to a specific page of the roulette game. So in here we create a page with the name of, for now, so you see the classic roulette in here. If I right click and choose the inspect element in here, you see the link is classic_roulette.php. So we name it classic roulette, but we choose the extension to be HTML for now. So we say classic_roulette.html. We start by saying the outer tags like the HTML and also the head tag, in which the CSS file would be referred to using the link tag, and we have the body tag in here which the user would we would type all the codes, all the HTML codes in here, and in the head we say link rel is equal to style sheet, and also href is equal to let's name it classic roulette.css, and we close our tag. Now we save it, and also I press Ctrl Shift and T and create another file name. Let's name it roulette_classic.css, as you see in here. So we just press Ctrl O and hit enter, and we are ready to write our CSS codes. So like always, the first thing that we want is to write our HTML codes. One div for the outer tag, or for our overall page. So what I mean is that we say div in here, we assign an ID, let's name it page. This is our outer div. Everything should be put in here, and in here we just write a hash sign and say the page, it was the name of the ID. And in here what we are going to say is to first say display block, the width which would be 100% or the page, and the height would be also 100%, and we assign it background color of, let's say I want it to be dark green, so let me just choose the color on the color picker. Now in here we go to the green, and in here this would be a good one, a dark green, 1D47, and then the last hexadecimal number to be in here. So we save it, and also what we are going to do, let me just exit in here and type index.html, go for the classic roulette, change the extension from PHP to .html for now, and again we go to our file. Now in the browser we refresh it and go for the classic roulette. As you see, this is our outer box, but I don't know why the background color hasn't been yet applied. So let us go to the page, to the file. Yes, as you see, the name in the link, the CSS is classic roulette, while in the CSS file you have choose the name by the roulette classic. So we press we just say Ctrl O, and in here we change the name. So instead of roulette classic, we say classic roulette, and now we hit enter and we say Y to save it. If we refresh the page, you see now the CSS code has been applied. After that, we want to create a box. If you look at this representation, we want to create this green box in here. So in the HTML code in here, we just create another div tag by the ID of, let's say, just box. And we write the CSS code, box. We want to say display block position absolute width. Maybe we want the width to be, for example, 40% of the whole page, and the height to be maybe let's say 60%, and we assign a background color to it. Again, I want it to be green, so let's go to the color picker. Instead of this image, maybe we choose a little lighter, like this, 2654, 2654. Then we get to the 35. So right now, if I refresh the page, we don't see it. Let me just change it to increase the red from 26 to FF so that we could see it better in the browser. We refresh it, still nothing. Let's see what's the problem. So this is the div that we have created with the ID of box, and in here I've said box display block position absolute width height, and the background color, let me just change this to brown, even though I don't think this is the problem. Now we refresh it. No, nothing has happened. Let's see what's the problem. As I said, because we use the nano editor, everything should be taken care of by ourselves. So yes, the problem that we have is that in here it should be semicolon. You may say that in this way, using the nano editor, we may confront more problems, but as we said earlier, when you want to apply to a job, most of the times, or in the good companies at least, instead of a computer, they would give you a whiteboard and a marker, so you should write everything on the whiteboard. They want to see if you have complete knowledge over all the syntaxes, or you have worked with the popular editors that take care of things themselves. So in this way, you better understand all the syntaxes and also all the errors. So we save it. Now we go to the browser and refresh it. You see now we have the brown color in here, but instead we want to assign the same color in here, 26, 54, 35. So we say 26, 54, 35, I think. 26, 54, 35, yes. Now if we go to our browser and refresh, this is our box, even though it's not as clear as it should be, but anyways, because the position is absolute, we could just move it around. So I say that because the width is 40%, I want it to be 30% from the left, which would be 30% also from the right. Also, I want to do the same from the 20% from the left, sorry. So this should be from the left, and this should be from the top. Just look how much width and height we have assigned to it. Now if we refresh, you see our box now is in the middle. Also, I would want to increase the width from 40% to maybe 60%, and in here the left should be just 15. Now if we refresh it, yes, now it's better. Okay, it's time. We could just change the background color at the final step, but right now I think it's enough. Now it's time that we create our boxes.